The unexpected.
It was like a bad dream, a monstrous, terrifying dream. I was caught in a fantastic nightmare. I knew that I had to escape or go mad. I had met the unexpected.
The unexpected. A secret future, a hidden destiny waiting for you. Where, when, who knows? Tomorrow, today, an hour from now? Perhaps, in just a moment, you two will meet. The unexpected. And now radio's most famous actress, Nairobi Harmon, in Nightmare, a drama of the unexpected.
It all began so simply, just a knock on the door. I'm coming. Wait a minute, I'm coming. I stared out into the hall, and for a moment I didn't see anything or anyone. Then I heard a voice, a strange, high-pitched, tinny voice, and I glanced down.
Good morning, lady. I've got dolls for sale. Would you like to buy a doll?
He was little, not over 3.5 feet tall, and at first I thought I was looking at a child. Then I realized that he was an old man, an indescribably ugly old man. An evil grin spread over his dwarf-like face, and he held out 2 beautiful dolls.
Buy a doll, lady. See, I have 2 kinds. This one cries. And this one laughs.
Oh, she's so funny. So very funny.
Will you buy a doll, lady?
All right.
Which one?
Oh, it doesn't make any difference.
The one that cries?
No, I'll take the laughter. I need laughter.
Take the one that cries, lady. Take the one that cries.
Why?
Let her shed your tears, but do your own laughing.
Well, if I can't have the funny doll, I won't buy either one.
All right, lady. The laughing one.
How much does it cost?
There is no set fee for laughter or tears. Pay what you want. It will be enough. Perhaps too much.
I gave the dwarf a $5 bill. He shoved into his pocket, turned, and hobbled away down the stairs. I remember wondering why he didn't stop at any of the other apartments on the floor. Then I shrugged and closed the door. She was a beautiful doll with long golden hair. Her mouth lifted into the most infectious smile I'd ever seen, and her laughter was instantly contagious. Whenever I turned her into my hands, I found myself laughing right along with her. Oh, suddenly I felt very foolish. What was wrong with me? I was playing with dolls, acting like a ridiculous child. I'd only bought the thing because I felt sorry for the dwarf. I didn't really want it. Then I tossed the doll on the sofa and forgot all about it. Forgot about it completely until later when Richard came by to take me out to dinner, and the subject for some reason came up again.
Tell me, Ginny, what is this thing?
Oh, it's just a doll I bought this morning from a horrible little man that came to the apartment. Bend it over, it laughs. See? Isn't it funny?
Not particularly.
I guess it just seems funny to me. Well, come on, Rich. We've got to hurry if we're going to get to the theater on time. If an understudy can do anything else, at least she can be prompt.
Ginny, there's something I've been wanting to ask you. Are you sure you want to keep on with your acting?
Keep on with it. Well, I really haven't done any yet. It doesn't seem like I will. Marcia Claremont's as healthy as a horse.
No, you'll get a chance someday, Ginny, if you wait long enough. But I wish you wouldn't wait.
What do you mean, Rich?
Well, I'm doing all right now. Playing Romeo to Claremont's Juliet is a swell break. And I haven't told you before, but I've had some feelers from Hollywood. Nothing definite, of course, but...
Oh, Rich, how wonderful.
So I'm pretty well set for the next few years, and, well, I'd like to share my luck with you.
I'm sorry, Rich. I can't help laughing.
Don't you understand what I'm trying to say?
Of course I do, Rich. The doll makes me laugh. I can't help it.
I'd hope this would sound serious to you, Jenny. It's serious to me.
Well, stop the doll's laughing, Rich. Then I can talk. Please stop the doll, Rich. I want to answer you. Just stop the doll.
You're the only one who's laughing, Ginny, and you're laughing at me.
No, I'm not, Rich. No, I'm not. It's the doll. Can't you hear it?
Goodbye, Ginny. I'm sorry I bothered with you. At least I'm worth a good laugh.
Stopped. As soon as Rich walked out of the room, the laughter stopped. I hurried to the sofa, picked up the doll, and turned it over very slowly. I had heard it. I was sure I heard it, and Rich must have heard it too. Somehow I knew he hadn't. I held it close to my face for a moment, and then suddenly, without thinking, I threw it to the floor. The doll broke into a dozen pieces, but as it shattered, it laughed. Piece by piece, it laughed. I swept the broken bits of wax into the dustpan and dumped them in the incinerator, smiling as I watched them go up in smoke. I was glad to be rid of the hideous object. I never wanted to hear its mocking laughter again. Never. But I did. The doll was gone, yet its laughter remained, and followed me. In the subway, eating lunch at the automat, in the dressing room at the theater. And even while I tossed with endless insomnia on my bed at night, I would hear that horrible, contagious laughter. And I would have to laugh too. I would laugh and laugh and laugh. Finally, when I could stand it no longer, I went to see Dr. Wembley, the psychiatrist who gave me cold professional comfort at $50 an hour.
Oh, it's nothing serious, Miss Randolph, a mild hallucination. Many people have similar reactions to strain or overwork. I'll give you something so you can sleep more easily, and in a few days you'll forget all about the laughter.
He was right. Dr. Wembley was right. I did sleep that night, and by the end of the week, the doll had become a nightmare that never really happened, so I wasn't afraid to answer the telephone. Hello?
Hello, Ginny. This is Rich. Come down to the theater. Claremont's sick.
What?
No rehearsal and get on stage.
Oh, no.
Did you hear me? Ginny, you're playing Juliet tonight. Ginny?
Oh, I can't. Yes, Rich. I heard you. I'll be there.
When he bestrides the lazy pacing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague.
Ginny, what's wrong, Ginny?
What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new Ginny, control yourself.
I can't help it.
Ginny.
I just can't help it.
Please, Ginny, please.
It's the doll. It's that horrible doll. I can't help it. I ran out of the theater. The laughter echoed in my ears, driving into my brain until I knew there would be nothing else left in my life. Nothing but endless days and nights of laughter. The bridge was high above the river. The murky water lapped at the supports. The next thing I felt was the wind brushing past my face, and the icy water closed over me. Then I awoke. I was in my own familiar bed between clean, cold sheets. My window was open, and the water I had felt had been the splatter of raindrops against my face. I realized that it was a dream, the whole thing. The dwarf, the doll, the laughter, nothing but a terrible nightmare. And now I was awake, and the nightmare was over. It was over forever.
You think the story is over, don't you? But wait. Wait for the unexpected.
I'm awake now, smiling and happy. The nightmare has ended. None of it was real. The dwarf and his laughing doll were just my imagination. Things like that don't happen. I still live rich, and someday perhaps he'll ask me to marry him. And someday perhaps I'll play Juliet. A whole life is still in front of me. Wonderful, marvelous life. I'm coming. Just a minute, I'm coming.
Would you like to buy a doll? See, I have two kinds. This one cries, and this one laughs.
Our cast featured Nairobi Harmon as Ginny, Joey Hewitt as Richard, Angelo Doguzzi as the dwarf, Kat Eisnicker as the host and doctor, Ashlyn Newsom as the laughing doll, and Abby Zinsmeister as the crying doll. This was directed by student Ava Hooper. We would like to thank Mr. Michael Miner and Mr. Bobby Zinsmeister for their work with the sound. We would also like to thank Mr. Superintendent Dr. T.C. Japelier, Assistant Superintendent John Belt, Principal Louis Retton, Vice Principal Keith Swearingen, Dave Moffat, our ICHS secretaries, Lori Open and Connie Hubler, and all other staff members who helped to make this production possible. We would like to give one final thank you to Mr. Zinsmeister for making it possible for our drama club to do productions such as this one. And now stay tuned for Morgan McCumbers reading The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe.
Once upon a midnight jury, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought the sorrow. From my books their curse of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore. None was here for evermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. That is it, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more." Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before, but the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token. And the only word there was spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore?" This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore," merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window latest. Let me see, then, what threat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but, with the mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird, beguiling my sad fancy in the smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the continents it wore. "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, though," I said, "art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore, tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing a bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculpted bust above his chamber door, with such name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather then he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before, on the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, I said, what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of never, nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my fancy in the smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of the bird, and bust, and door. Then, upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking, fancy until fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking, nevermore. Then I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated over. But whose velvet lining with the lamplight gloating over, she shall press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretched, I cried, thy God hath let thee, by these angels he hath sent thee respite and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still if bird or devil. Whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me, truly I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden if, within the distant Aidenn, it shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked, upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of thy lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never filting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seemings of a demon's that is dreaming. And the lamplight over him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out the shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.